Hi, I'm Byron. I'm a chef on a mission, traveling the world in search of great food, culture, and friends. I'm searching for culinary treasure that will help you learn to cook, expand your palate, and have fun while you do it. From Texas barbecue to Peruvian fusion. The Juanito Show. Mama knows.
The Juanito Show. Chico TV, baby. Estamos acá. ¿Con quién? What is your name?
Ben Starr.
¡Au! La estrella. Mira, él tiene un corazón grandote como yo. Y yo quiero enseñarte, enseñar a Perú, enseñar a todos el amor de Ben Starr. I want to show the world your love and happiness in the kitchen and the way you are. Like I said before, I'm a big fan. I'm pretty stoked. I'm like, oh, this is one of my bucket lists, baby. So I'm really, really excited. So I've had to really calm down my nerves. And I said, you know what? Woo! Mama, help me right now. Mama, help me right now. Okay? So, hey, Ben.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you take it from here, okay? But my first question to you first.
Yeah.
Tell something that nobody knows about you.
Okay, well, I'm going to do this, but then all of your viewers are going to think I'm super weird and probably tune out. But when I was a kid, after finishing cooking in the kitchen, cleaning up all the dishes, all my chores for the day were done, before I would go to the bathroom and take my shower in my bath and go to bed, I would look around to make sure nobody could see me, and I would sneak out the back door. And we lived kind of out in the country on, you've probably considered a farm, out in West Texas. There were all these mesquite trees, and at night, the spiders would build their webs in between the mesquite trees. And I made sure nobody ever saw me do this because I was so embarrassed, but it's something that for some reason in my bizarre brain I thought was something that I needed to do. I would stand out on the porch and I would say out loud to myself, now it's time for an evening web. And I would close my eyes and start walking out into the backyard through the trees until I felt a spider web break across my face. And I would smile darkly to myself and turn around and go inside and get ready for bed, which is super weird. I still have absolutely no idea why I did that as a child, but I did. And that's probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever confessed in front of the camera.
Well, you know, I don't like spiders, and I don't like webs. I mean, they're really good to have in Texas because we need them for our mosquitoes, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But not my cup of tea. Hey.
I was 10. That's all I can say. Well,
so you do. So you still do it. You still do it.
No, I don't do it anymore. And you know, I'm a big hiker. I forage for mushrooms. That's like my big hobby. I forage for wild mushrooms, and so I get spider webs across my face all the time. And now I hate it as an adult. But like as a kid, there was something about that. It was just weird and bizarre. And it was my secret little thing that I did. I have no idea where it came from. But yeah, now I can't stand getting spider webs across my face. It freaks me out.
That's hilarious. So I'm gonna let you take it from here. I really want to showcase you, okay, and your achievements, because you have really, you went in my opinion, from everybody I've seen, you went above and beyond because of your kindness and love, and you have something that a lot of people don't have. So I'm gonna let it take it from here.
All right. Well, first of all, in your honor, since you spent so much time in Peru, I am enjoying the very last of this vintage bottle of Pisco. They don't produce this Inca Pisco anymore. It came in these crazy like little bottles. And
hold on, let me get some rum. Hold on, let me get some rum. I'm gonna take a shot with you.
Get some.
Hold on. I'm on the beach, baby. Woo!
Wow, he just went right into the beach. That's so crazy.
And I got some, let me see. This was something, Centenario. It's like 7 years. And
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, yeah, get yourself some. Pisco, I'm sure your viewers, because they've seen your time in Peru, know what this is. But
yes.
It's a type of brandy, but it's not aged in wood, so it comes out clear. And Absolutely delicious. And this bottle is probably 40 years old. So.
And here's to the world finding love and happiness, and how we can all come together with food, love, and friends and family, right?
I couldn't agree with you more. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, so since you have said these since you've said these words that you just said, it's very timely. I grew up in a very conservative and devout sort of a family, and so a lot of the ideals that I have today as an adult were taught to me from my family and the faith of my family. And as an adult, after traveling the world, more than 40 countries, I've been to all 7 continents, I tend to err on the side of being a little bit more liberal as an adult. But it really deeply troubles me, this conflicted place that we've gotten into in this country, where we think of our neighbors, the people that live across the street from us, that don't vote the way we do, don't go to the same church that we do. We start thinking that they are others, that they're bad, they're against us, they're an enemy, they're crazy if they think that way, they're crazy if they vote that way. And that's just really disturbing to me, because for 7 years after MasterChef, I helped run this restaurant with 2 of the contestants from my season. And every night we had 20 complete strangers. They were drawn by a lottery. We had 16,000 people in this lottery trying to get into our restaurant. We would pick 20 people at random to come sit around a table. And you know that at that table, a wide variety of beliefs and cultures and thought patterns were present. But when you sit strangers around a table of food that's cooked from the heart by people who truly care about serving people, once you share that kind of food and drink together, all of those differences become meaningless, because you see each other as humans and you see what we have in common. And we all have way more in common than we have different from each other, right? And we've drifted so far apart now in this country and even globally that I think like one of the final few things that we all still share and agree on is that when it comes time to celebrate life with people that you love, you get in the kitchen to cook and you gather around the table to share that together. So this is, I feel like, one of the last bastions that we have in order to kind of help get us all back together, to supporting each other and rooting for each other and putting our differences aside in favor of our similarities. So you and I are right there in agreement on that. That food is definitely the best way to do that.
Definitely. And I'm you know, it's amazing the way you speak. I was raised with deep, you know, Southern Baptist, but also but then I went, I've traveled the world, you know. I was in the Navy. I've seen the world. I've seen many different religions. I've seen many different things. And what I realized is a lot of times people are stuck in their bubble, and they don't want to come out of it because they're scared that there's no, I guess, opportunities, or there's no clear path for them.
Yeah.
And so what I want to try to do with my show and with everything is to help people create clear paths.
Yeah.
You know, and I believe you have the same vision, is creating those clear paths to make people realize that we're all together no matter what.
Absolutely. I like that idea of clear paths. I've often been reminded of a metaphor. I can't remember when it was told to me, but that I've kind of built my life on it, at least for the last 2 decades. And it's that sometimes you can only see as far as the headlights, but you can still make the entire journey that way. So you don't always necessarily have to see what's at the end, what your ultimate goal is, but you got to have the guts to go out, and even if you can only see 20 feet in front of you, you got to start. Once you start, you can get all the way to the end, wherever it is, but you got to start, even if it's not entirely clear where you got to go. So.
Well, you know, it's so funny that you say that, though, because, you know, when I started my show, I started with the name The Huerito Show, and a lot of people really didn't understand what it was unless you grew up in Mexico, or you truly, because it's slang. Yeah. You know, it's a lot of the slang, and that's what's happened to the world, where the translation, the transition, you know, we've all been discombobulated into something that, but see, that's what's so great about America. And that's how we need to get stronger, is by that strength, by your passion and love, and trying to help people find the right way. And
Yeah.
You know, those are the kind of leaders that need to come out in this world and show and help people with that clear path, no matter the religion, no matter what you are. You know, I always believe if you don't treat your neighbor or love thy neighbor with all your heart,
absolutely,
you're not going to be going to where you think you're going to go. Right. And so when I saw your heart on MasterChef, I was like, wow, we got lift off, baby, NASA, baby, you know.
You know, I'll give you a little insight. I don't talk about MasterChef that much anymore. My season was filmed a decade ago, right? So
hey, you know what? No. I'm gonna keep on talking about it. You don't understand, dude. To be a part of that, you're one of the elites. A lot of people have no, I guess, kahunas to do what we. But you know, because when you have an idea, if you don't have a plan, a goal, a vision. Yeah. You know, people wanted me to change my name before I came back to America.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's my legacy. I grew up in Mexico.
Yeah.
They call me Güerito. Hey, Güerito. Órale, vato. Vamos a la playa para tomar un tequila. You know? I grew up with the homies. I was Miklo. I mean, but I also grew up with the Texans. My father was an oil well firefighter. He was a ex-Navy SEAL, underwater demolition. I was in the Navy for 10 years, you know, and so I think we all have to celebrate all that. You know, that's our history. But like guys like you, man.
Well, and never forgetting your history is really important. You know, having seen a lot of the world, but coming from very humble roots in rural West Texas, I think a lot of people sort of lose their track and lose their way in this sort of American goal of we have to achieve success. We have to be able to prove to our family, to our society that we have achieved success. And somehow the American ideal of success is a nice house and a nice car and being able to travel all the time and all this kind of stuff that largely is material, right? And so when that's the thing that you're pursuing and not pursuing real happiness and service to your community and to your family, we end up focusing on trying to get the wrong things. You know, we're chasing that money, chasing the house, and chasing the car when we really need to be on our knees doing good things for others at all times. And a lot of folks, we're in this weird era right now where chefs can achieve celebrity status and people worship them and you know, they're big hot shots. But when it comes down to it, what is a chef? A chef is a servant. They're in the kitchen cooking for somebody else and being paid to do that. They are a person who is of service. That is our ultimate career. And so it bothers me.
I love you, man, but I'm not going to worship you.
Oh, yeah. And it bothers me when chefs, you know, kind of take this haughty stance and begin to feel very full of themselves, because at the end of the day, y'all, we're in the kitchen to cook for other people that are paying us to do that. So
that's right.
Being a chef is a position of being a servant. And whenever people tell me that they're lost in their life and they're not happy and they're not fulfilled, the way that you find out how to be happy and how to be fulfilled is to be of service to other people. So go out and volunteer, or help the little old lady that lives next door by doing her grocery shopping or repairing her fence. Because when you do these acts of kindness for other people, and it could just be cooking something for the folks like next door, it fills you up from the inside out to have that kind of ability to assist somebody that needs it. So that's where I always tell people who are totally lost to start being of service to other people, and then you will find yourself through that, rather than chasing the things for yourself, the money and the car and all that kind of stuff.
That's right, because none of that has value, really.
Of course, yeah. And it ultimately won't bring you happiness when you're on your deathbed.
Right.
I wanted to share with you a thing about MasterChef. So you can probably guess from looking at most reality television shows that the producers do a lot of work behind the scenes to sow discord among contestants, because TV is thrilling. At least they think TV is thrilling when people are at odds and fighting and on edge. And so there's a great deal of effort undertaken by the producers of most reality TV shows, and it certainly went for MasterChef, to try to turn the contestants against each other so that there will be a lot of conflict. And fairly early on in my season, we had gotten to the group of the top 18. All of us were in the cookbook library studying. The library is where we can go at night. It's the only place we can go other than our hotel room, because you're locked in your hotel room with no television, no phone, no internet, nothing, right? So the only way that you can get out of that little cage is to go to the cookbook library to study. So all of the contestants were in the cookbook library, reading cookbooks, studying, trying to memorize recipes. And there are a few little snippy comments started to fly between, the contestants, and then that tension started to escalate, and I can't be around conflict like that. I can't. Right. I have to resolve it. I have to make peace, right?
Right.
So I sat everybody down and I said, listen, y'all, we are here for the next 2 months. We can't call our families. We can't see anybody that we love. For the next 2 months, we are all we've got. So we can either choose to fight against each other and have conflict for the next 2 months, which nobody really enjoys in their heart, or we can all remember why we're here, because we love to cook. And we love to cook not because we like putting ingredients together. We love to cook because of who we cook for. That is why we cook, because love, right? So why don't we all realize that we are here ultimately because we love people, love to take care of them through our cooking, and instead support each other and use each other as a support structure and root for each other, and whoever is the best contestant will win, but we will have fun doing it and have a great time and build meaningful connections and friendships with each other. And this kind of light bulb went off on everybody, and they were like, oh. So throughout our season, at least, the producers were pretty frustrated with me because I kept trying to build friendships and relationships among all the contestants, especially
you're bringing the love, and they're like, what? Hey, buddy.
Yeah. So I got a few lectures about that. But the feedback that at least I got from a lot of folks, including yourself, was I enjoyed watching how nice people were to each other during your season. You get to the next season, and everyone's fighting and strangling each other and talking crap about each other.
It's becoming hell, like Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so that's just a little thing. We kind of hijacked our season and decided to all be friends with each other. And they still did their best in the editing room to make it look like some of the folks hated each other. But we all adored each other. We're all still in contact, every last one of us. We've always got a text thread going, supporting each other and checking in on each other. Now people have families and kids and all sorts of stuff, and we're all still involved in each other's lives. And you won't see that from the other seasons of the show because they were all effectively, pushed apart.
Right. So tell me now, what are you doing now? Like I know that I saw some chickens.
I've got chickens in my backyard. I always have chickens in my backyard. I'm a farm boy. I grew up on the farm, and I've got to have chickens, man.
I had chickens too growing up. We had a chicken farm.
Oh yeah. Oh nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing about chickens, first of all, they're great pets, but they also poop out breakfast. Your dog doesn't do that, neither does your cat. I'm a big animal person. Don't take that wrong. But chickens are amazing pets, and the whole backyard chicken phenomenon has kind of taken hold, and now most cities across the U.S. allow for you to have 3 or 4 chickens in your backyard, just like you'd have a cat or a dog. And they are wonderful pets, man. You know this from first-hand experience. If you had the worst day and you come in angry or frustrated and just like about to explode with temper or whatever, all you have to do is sit there for 5 minutes and watch your chickens go around scratching through the yard, pecking, chasing bugs, and it completely turns your mood around, right?
Well, even like the roosters, though, you got to run from those suckers. I had.
I don't keep roosters. They're assholes.
We had a black one that was almost as tall as me because I was a short little dude, and I had to run like a mile to get away from him. I became a quick runner.
Yeah, they can be real jerks. I only keep hens around, and they're so good and sweet and happy that that's great. So what am I doing right now? So shortly after the show, one of the contestants from my season, Jenny Kelly, she was a founding member of the rock band The Polyphonic Spree here in Dallas. She and I became really good friends on the show because we both lived in Dallas, and it turned out we had mutual friends, but we had never met. Mm-hmm. She pulled me aside one day and she said, hey, I know that you would never, ever want to be a chef in a regular restaurant because you like knowing the people that you cook for. But I have this idea of having, it's basically like a dinner party, but you invite a bunch of strangers together around a table and they don't even know like where they're going until 24 hours beforehand. And then you just feed them this epic dinner party, like 6 or 7 or 8 courses and all the wine you can drink. And by the end of the night, everybody at the table knows each other, everybody at the table knows the chefs, and everybody knows the servers, and it's just a really cool, almost family-like experience, but with really epic, delicious food. And I was like, okay, yeah, when are we doing this? And so we started that, the two of us together, and we did it for a couple of years, and it started just by word of mouth, but then word started to get around. And then the press came calling, we were on a couple of TV shows, and the demand got so high that we needed help. And so Adrian Nieto, who was also on our season, was a member of the top 2. He was out in California at the time and was between jobs, and we said, oh, why don't you come and help us out? We'll do a menu, a Mexican menu, like deep, like South, like Oaxacan menu, and you can come out and help us cook for that. And he came out and had such a great time that he joined the team. So for 5 more years, the 3 of us, Jenny, Adrian, and I, did this little weird underground secret supper club sort of a thing. And we ended up on Yelp, and the ratings on Yelp went like through the roof. We were at one point the top rated restaurant in all of Texas on Yelp. And then the Chicago Tribune ran an article that we were the hardest reservation to get in the country because we had 16,000 people on the wait list and it only sat 20 people a night. And
hey, that's the way to go, man. That's the way to go.
And the press went just kind of bonkers with it, and people were emailing us from all over the world saying, I want to fly in from Tokyo, but I have to plan in advance. How can I, you only give out your reservations a week before. And so it just got, the press around it, and the pressure was like crazy. And so we, at the same time, I started to notice my own health going downhill, because the chef lifestyle, as you know, is very late nights, a lot of booze, food, and not necessarily the healthiest food at all hours, and very, very high stress, right? So for 7 years of that, I became pre-diabetic, and my cholesterol went through the roof, and a calcium scan showed that I was starting to get all this calcium buildup in my heart. And I realized I can keep doing this, and I love it, it's fulfilling, and it's wonderful, but it's gonna kill me. So in August of 2019, I took my other chefs aside and I said, y'all, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. Y'all, please continue to do it if you want, but I've got to go take care of myself. So I quit the restaurant. Of course, 6 months later, COVID shut down every restaurant in the country and forever changed the landscape of the restaurant world. Yeah. And so it was just happened to be good timing on our end. But I have taken the last couple of years to focus on losing that weight that I gained from all the alcohol and late night eating and all that kind of stuff, and getting back in shape. And so I'm now healthier than I've ever been in my whole life.
You look great.
I'm happy and fulfilled and doing all sorts of cool things. I get, because of my time for 7 years at this restaurant, I've got a lot of local contacts in the Dallas area. So people are calling me all the time asking me to do dinner parties for them and their family or friends and stuff like that.
Maybe you can do a blog, and I'll put it everywhere for you, so you can tell people how you lost the weight, how you can help them, and you know, because I was 270 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you do?
What I did was I started doing a lot of research, and what I realized is you have to put your body into survival mode.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to fast, and and the German fasters, what they did was, you know, if you had high cholesterol, some people had to fast for 2 months, 3 months, you know, not just a week. They're fasting forever, but it's also helping them clear their mind. And so what I did was I jump started it. what, baby? Ben Starr got some what?
Cornbread!
Woo!
Cast iron
Cornbread, baby!
skillet cornbread. Look at that.
Yeah. Man, I
Yeah.
wish I was there, but I'm chilling on the beach. Woo! No, just kidding. But look at that. Ow!
You should smell it. It smells like a cross between cornbread and a fresh, warm corn tortilla, which is like there's not many things in the world that are better than a freshly made, warm corn tortilla right off the comal, right?
But you know, I like to do the tortillas de harina, you know, the flour tortillas. Grandma, my grandmother, my step grandmother was Mexican, so
Yeah.
she taught me all the Mexican plates. And
Yeah.
but once they take it off there, you put some butter, and then I used to put butter, peanut butter, and banana, and then
Oh
a
yeah,
little bit of
that's
honey.
delicious.
Oh, look at that! Oh,
That sounds
look
good.
at that, baby! Oh, look how! Oh man! Oh, I'm not. Oh,
Nice
look how
and
fluffy that
Crusty
is!
on the bottom of it.
Woo! Look at that crust!
That's how it's supposed to be right
Man,
there.
bring it closer to the camera. Look at that! Oh yeah, bring it here, baby! Ow! Yeah, look at that!
Woo, that's hot.
That's some good stuff.
Nice.
Woo!
Sweet.
Hey, thank you very much again for letting the Juanito Show and Tigo TV share your love and your cornbread and your. Oh, it's fluffy, baby. You gotta have that fluffiness. If you don't have fluffiness, when you go into the beans,
Yeah.
you want it to absorb it. You want it to
Yeah.
absorb
Yeah,
the
yeah.
liquid in the beans. If it can't
Yeah.
absorb it quickly, then what's the point of it, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Woo! That's right, baby. The window.
Awesome.
Oh, here we go. The Juanito Show. Come on. The Juanito Show.
Juanito Show!
Woo!
Woo!
Let's go. Woo! Peace to the world. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Make sure you share the love, his passion. He got chickens on his Facebook. So, woo! Let's go.
Thank you, sir. Peace. Good
Yes,
to see
sir.
you.
Woo! The Juanito Show.
Tigo TV, generando experiencias.